Let me unmute myself. Hi guys, my name is on TV. Take two. I'm laughing at him off screen. Manchester City proved Manchester is blue, and we are off to the Etihad. I can't do this when he's doing that. Hope we're all good. Let's say some hellos and I'll bring in the motley crew. Diaz, best centre back. He was amazing tonight. Doopy, amazing. Absolutely Doopy. Let's go, City, says Shanu. Let's go. That was for Colin, says Cameron. Spot on. City till we die. Wembley, Wembley with. This is. I'm not even looking down there anymore. Hi, Manchester Blue. All my cousins' families, Manchester United fans. Sorry for that, mate. At least you've got sense. Hello, Adam Quinn. How are you, mate? Manchester is blue. Evening, Anthony. How are you? Evening, another blinded performance. See that hug? Yeah, it was. That was amazing to see that from the boys. I know I'm muted. I know, Charlie. I've just done it. Dear, oh dear, he's catching my disease. I know you've done that. Are you here yet? Are you just still off camera? Hello, Jonas. How are you? Right, let's get into the thing. First one I want to introduce tonight. I'm going to bring him in first because if I don't, he's going to annoy me. There he is. I had to bring you first. Do you want to show more what you were doing off camera tonight?
What are you on about? Good night, though, Matt. A good night.
I know, an absolute amazing night. Do you enjoy that?
Well, I think when Fernandinho scored, yeah, then you start to think, yeah, because United
stop twitching.
Say again, mate.
When did your ass stop twitching? At what minute?
When Fernandinho scored, mate. But they were rubbish, United. Embarrassment. Playing at home, playing like that, parking the bus. What an embarrassment! A chance to get through to a final, and they bottled it big style.
You mean with that BTEC Declan Rice they have in the middle?
Mate, there was only 3 of their players who I thought had a decent game, and the rest of them were average. And as I told you, as soon as Fernandinho stuck one on him, he did nothing the rest of the match.
Let's bring in Carl. How are you, mate? Oh, he's on mute.
I am happy with City. I'm sad with what's going on in my country. But thank you, City, for making my day, making me happy today. Love you.
Yeah. Carla's in Washington, if you haven't seen.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a mess at the moment over in America, sadly. But that's what happens when you have a plank in charge of your country. Thankfully, they won't have him for very much longer. The next one. Kurt, how are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm fantastic, mate. I had a little bit of time after the game to send the texts I need to send and all that good stuff. And now I'm just happy to have a chat about what a great time it is to be to another final.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's good in the comments.
Oh, and the other person is not here yet. But speaking of planks, Chris.
Yes, mate.
I just wanted to say that. Oh, sorry, mate. I'm waiting for somebody else. I've got to bring you on this by Doopy. Trump was talking about building a wall. Have you heard of Stones and Diaz? Tell you, boy, it'd have cost him nothing. It would have cost him absolutely nothing. Well, it might cost him about 100 million. Still have been cheaper than putting on up the wall he was talking about. Hi, Kurt, Martin, Carl, and Chris. Evening, Doopy. Scott Williams, Evening Blues, cracking win for the King. It was. We really have done Colin proud tonight, and some really good words from Stones and Pep after the game. Definitely. Ruben Diaz was colossal tonight. Foden had a great game. Does everyone reckon that Sterling needs a rest? Yeah, I'm going to go into that standard 4-4-2. I've got some thoughts on Sterling, which is why I wanted him rested tonight, because I knew he was going to do what he was going to do. Can't wait to see Sergio back. I've got my thoughts on that as well, because I didn't. When is Sergio coming back? I don't know, but we'll get into that as we're going along. Chris, obviously you give us a little bit of your initial thoughts. Well-deserved win.
Yeah, only one team in it of the whole game. I think we played pretty much to a man. I wasn't overly impressed with Mahrez and Sterling, but everyone else had a really good game. Really good game. I thought our tactics were right. We didn't really go at them and didn't give them those opportunities that they were trying to get us on the break. So, yeah, I thought we were fine. We should have been well ahead really by half time, but United was shy.
Carl, your initial thoughts?
I thought it was a mature performance. Very mature. We knew their strengths. We knew what they want to do. And we negated it. We canceled it. We were cautious. We took our chances for the most part. We were patient. We understood exactly what they were trying to do. And we played to our strength and actually just eliminated their own strengths. Good performance. I called it 2-0, right, yesterday. And I said no Aguero. So
I know people had told me Pep said he's going to start in Birmingham, but I'm still baffled why I didn't get any minutes at all tonight. But we'll wait and see. Anyway, hey, wait. Speaking of planks completely, we have a full house tonight. We'll be able to build a timber cottage soon. Here it comes.
hey.
We'll drink to Colin the King. Listen, what an absolutely brilliant performance. 2-0. Etihad South away, sadly, probably without fans, but yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing performance. United were absolutely garbage. Garbage. There you go. What a terrible team. Bruno Fernandes versus Kevin De Bruyne. Are you having a laugh, United fans? Jesus Christ. Unbelievable.
Tell you what, if we ever get to the stage of doing merchandise on this channel, Andy's going to get a cup that just says garbage all the way around.
It's going to be garbage. That's the motto, because they were awful. Absolutely awful.
I can't imagine all what Martin's would be. Your mugs, mate.
It'll be Fernandinho's too old.
Foden on loan.
Foden on loan. John Stones ain't good enough.
No, it'll be caricature-style pictures of Fernandinho, all our oldest players, and Dad's Army underneath.
Yeah, Dad's Army. That'll be him.
Kurt,
anyway,
let's go
great
back to normality.
Well,
Tweedledum up there. Tell you what, me and Andy were joking though earlier. We were talking about Joe. We were talking. It's going to be weird. We're not at Wembley this year, mate. We're not going. This is our annual trip that me and we've missed out on Goodison Park, and now we're missing out on Wembley.
Yeah, I've never been fortunate enough to see us play live at Wembley. Tried many a times, but I'm not paying some of the silly prices they're trying to get me to. But opening statement about the game was Ollie said before the game, there's no excuses. 4 semi-finals, 4 losses. So we'll just start with that, let that sink in for a bit. And we just talk about what great centre-backs we have and how nice it feels to just pretty much, I think every fan just feels so relaxed because they weren't doing nothing. And I was worried if it was a derby, but when Fernandinho scored that goal, yeah, I was a very, very happy man. Very, very, very happy man. And I said last night in the preview in the comments that I wanted Fernandinho and Mahrez in, and they were the only changes. That's exactly what Pep did, and it worked out really well. So I was really, really happy.
Martin, can I just bring something up that Scotty Moles put on? I want us to read out because this is mental. It says Diaz had 64 defensive actions tonight and won every single one of them.
That's just incredible.
What a player.
I'm over to tell you, it was my man of the match.
Goodness me.
Yeah, man, too.
Phenomenal.
He was out of this world.
I'm 3,000 miles away, and I hear him say, Gundo, mark him. I'm all the way here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The only thing I don't want to see him, he needs to stop pulling his bloody shorts up because I don't need to do that also every 5 minutes, sunshine. I don't know.
Martin, you were around in the 80s, mate. Shorts were like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, John Stones went in off his thigh, and I'm being generous there. I'm being generous, it went off his thigh. I tell you, if he was excited, it'd have come off the tip of something else. Right. And did the lineup surprise you at all, or did you think can't remember your lineup fully?
Yeah, well, I think I said last night on last night's preview, I said I'd like Fernandinho in. I didn't think Pep would go with Fernandinho. I thought he'd go with Rodri, but he did go with Fernandinho, which I was very happy with. I had Foden and Sterling in my line as the wingers, but Mahrez came in because obviously Rodri wasn't in either, and Torres and others. So, so no, I wasn't overly surprised with the lineup. Not at all. It was pretty much what I thought. Zinchenko played, which don't know whether Aki is unfit or not. I've not seen a lot of stuff today. I've been busy, but I thought Zinchenko again had another very solid performance and didn't let us down. So, no, I wasn't surprised. It wasn't one of those that you look at it and go, "Oh Jesus, what's this all about?" It was fairly predictable to a certain degree. So, yeah, no, I didn't complain. I didn't shout. I didn't go, Mahrez. Yeah, what's Mahrez playing at? Why is he playing? What's he doing? I just thought it's good enough to beat United, and it was. So,
yeah. Chris, your thoughts on the lineup?
Yeah, pretty much with Andy on that. You know, it wasn't a surprising lineup. I honestly thought Fernandinho had to play in that game because I think he does scare the life out of Bruno, and he was. I mean, United fans comparing him to KDB, mate. You know, honestly,
it's frightening. It's absolutely frightening.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was disappointed that Riyad started, right? Because I think it takes a lot of pace out of the team. But, you know, like Andy said, they were still far too good for them lot.
Yeah.
Not going to lie, I did think Mahrez did a lot wrong tonight. I thought it was all right.
He didn't do anything though, Martin. He didn't do. He might not have done a lot wrong. He had that shot, but he didn't do anything.
I thought his work rate was top notch tonight. He was doing a lot.
I was just about to comment on that. The 2 or 3 tackles that he tried, he was successful in both of them. I saw him actually pressing quite well in not for the whole game, but for decent periods.
Kurt, I could just run into you and you'd call it a tackle. And,
over.
Is it? Are we talking about tackles like what Diaz does and Stones?
No. Obviously,
he wins the ball in a duel. That the ball.
Yeah, it was.
He wins it. I mean,
it wasn't exactly clean tackles, but what I'm saying is he tried. A lot of the time we say that he just doesn't even bother. So I do want to give credit where credit's due, and I think he did quite a decent job tonight. There
were a few times tonight he didn't even go for headers, mate.
Yeah.
You watch that. He didn't even go for the 50-50 headers. He didn't even attempt them. He just sort of turned his back or he stood off and let them have a free header. So, you know, the least I want is 100%. If the ball's there to be won, I don't care who you are, how big you are, how small you are, how crap you are, whether you're a winger, a forward, whatever. You go and attack the ball. You put your body on the line, and you might not win the header. It might be against Maguire, and you're not going to win the header. But put your body on the line and go in for it. Don't just stand there and watch it going, I'm not going to win it. Oh, I'll just leave it. You know, Pep wants second balls. I want first balls. I want at least attempts to do it. And I don't care if that was KDB who did that or it was Foden who did that. I'd be saying the same thing. It's not good enough. I called Foden out for his mistake the other night when the other week when he didn't bother going for a tackle when he should have done. So I'll do the same with Mahrez. But it's not just all about Mahrez. I thought there were too many good performances tonight from City.
Oh yeah, he was in the low echelons of the performances tonight for sure. I'm just saying that sometimes at least I saw him doing things he doesn't do in every game, and I did want to give him a bit of credit for that. It wasn't so much that I thought he had a great game because obviously he didn't have a great game.
Is that where the bar's set now? It's down here.
It's not about the bar. It's just I like a lot of the time, more so for me personally, for players generally seems to get a lot more critiques, whether they be valid or not valid. I tend to try and, you know me, I try and see the other side of it. And I think he did some things that we moan about quite well tonight. Not all game and not for long periods of the game, but I think he did. And like I said, I'm just trying to base it. I didn't think he had a particularly poor game. I just thought it was very indifferent.
Well, Carl, what did you think of the lineup?
Nothing surprised me with the lineup. It was predictable. I thought Mahrez it didn't surprise me that he started, given how many COVID cases we have, folks who are out. I was surprised by having Jesus and Aguero on the bench. That was surprising. And I thought Zach's save was really good. That save, really good. So he actually went to school in my state here in the DC area, went to University of Maryland. And he used to play basketball. He's an athlete. So all those kind of saves, he's really good at them. Penalties and saves, because he played basketball, he played all because an athlete. So I'm not surprised. But good performance from the team. Really good performance. I can't complain. City made my day happy today, given all that's happening right now in DC. So
yeah. I mean, for me, I thought, sort of like I said on watch along, sort of first 5-10 minutes again, we were a bit, we sort of let United have a little bit of the ball. And then from there on in, we just took over. And it was just, for me, it was men versus boys all the way through. I was very surprised that Man United, I thought, was a semi-final. But I said yesterday, they're all hyped. Everyone that played have not been half decent. It's all right beating the likes. I mean, no disrespect, Villa and all that. But when you look at the Villa game, they got battered overall when you look at it, and they shouldn't have won. And they'll come up against an half-decent team tonight, or for me, the best team tonight. And they couldn't lay a glove on us.
You notice that I think beaten them twice now on the social, right? Or 3 times?
Yeah. Each
time we played a false 9. This time, and also the 3-1 last year in the Carabao Cup with a false 9. I think it confuses everyone. It really confuses everyone. Chelsea had no clue what to do. United had no clue what to do.
I think, Carl, you made a great point last night, and that was that United are a team of individuals. They're not a team. They are capable of doing special stuff, but City are a good team and with special individuals in it. And really, we should win out most times, So I think that was a great point you made last night, mate.
Move on to Diaz and John Stones. For me, there is not a better, I've said it before, there's not a better partnership in the whole of Europe right now. People have argued that Stones is better than Diaz. Others, like myself, have said Stones has improved because of Diaz being next to him and lifting him up a bit. But I think the pair of them are just, one thing that I said on the watch along, they're not scared of anything right now. They'll throw the bodies in front of anything, anyone, anytime. And we weren't like that last year. We were sort of at 6s and 7s making individual errors. And we were a team. We're a team. You just banged on, said it. We're a team now. And I see that those two. Is there anyone better out there right now, Andy, than Ruben Diaz and John Stones as a partnership?
I think we need to be sort of careful. It's this partnership is like 6 games or something like that. I mean, it's early days. I mean, Jesus, we'll have John Stones making a mistake or Ruben Diaz, and then Ruben Diaz will be not as good as everyone thinks he is. And if John Stones make it, he's back to his usual self. Defenders always make mistakes throughout the season. They always do, because that's just the nature of the position and the play that they're doing. Walker makes mistakes, yet on the whole, he's 90% brilliant most games. John Stones will make mistakes towards the end of the season. So will Diaz. I mean, Diaz only was slated by a certain section of fans a couple of weeks ago for his mistake. So it's early days, but my lord. And you said, I think you made a point there about throwing. It was good to see throwing the bodies on the line. I think that's the job. And if you don't, if you ask that question to Roy Keane, he'd go, "That's just the job."
Yeah, I understand that, but that's not.
But they should be doing that. But the thing is that they both are doing that, and there's not many centre-back pairings at this moment in time, and albeit it's only 6 games or so, but they look absolutely superb. And Laporte is going to really, really struggle to get until an injury or until a massive mistake or something like that. He's going to struggle to get back in this. And we are talking about somebody who last year and the year when he signed, the year before, who was right up in there in the top 5 defenders in world football. So it just shows with Ake and Cancelo now playing, albeit I didn't think he was great tonight. I thought he was okay. But wow, what we've gone from nothing and us all moaning about the defense to having 6 or 7 players all playing really, really well, and a world-class centre-back can't even break into this pairing at the back because they're playing so well.
It's interesting because I found myself at times when we're under attack, looking to see how Diaz and Stones cope. It almost becomes more enjoyable than watching Kevin and Sterling and Foden go up front to see how.
Kurt's looking at you now, listening, going, "Oh yes, keep talking, Carl, because you know what I like. I like my defenders." It's a different mindset I have now watching them to see how are they going to cope with Rashford and Martial and Bruno and Pogba. What are they going to do that's special? And I enjoy those moments much more than Kevin and Sterling and Foden running up front and creating passes and scoring goals at this point in time. It's enjoyable to watch that balance in the team. Really good. I think it's a massive shout out also to Gundogan tonight because he was coming back and making some phenomenal tackles. Not phenomenal as in worldy tackles like Diaz was blocking, but nicking balls off players like Fernandinho does around the D in outside our box. And I think he really, he's another player that I don't know where. We were watching it with my lads, and I was saying, obviously, they bought me that big signed shirt of Ilkay Gundogan and everything, and they were saying it must be since he's had COVID, he's come back, and how much energy has he got in his legs? I've always said he runs in treacle, but tonight, bloody hell. The energy he's putting into these games at the moment is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, centre-back pairing, amazing.
I would say I'd just like to bring up a little bit of a different thing with the old partnership, because I remember watching an interview with Joleon Lescott, and he talked, it wasn't about being the best centre-back, it was about being the best centre-back to partner company. And he said that what Dzeko understood very well, that it was about partnerships and about creating, if you're the best partner for Sergio, you're going to play, and this echoes across all the pitch. What any manager wants is he wants partnerships, and we seem to be building quite a few partnerships that are very productive, and that's what the team's probably been missing a lot in the last 18 months, is where Pep is a very rotational manager, that partnerships haven't really been given a chance to flourish and build. And I think now this season, especially with the back line, we're seeing that that's coming to fruition and being a really positive for us, because we're seeing both the partnership that Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne are having in the middles, sparkling very well. The centre-backs are doing very well. I think the link-up on the left side's been great when Foden I think Zinchenko and Foden have always had decent link-up play. Not to say that I think Zinchenko had a great game tonight, but I think the partnerships all around the pitch are improving, and I really like it.
I thought Zinchenko did all right tonight.
I don't think he had a great game, but
not quite at the apology stage from me yet, but he did all right.
There was a couple of balls he gave away that were very. If they had a bit more quality on the ball, that could have caused us a bit more problem. But Diaz is exceptional at covering that left channel and balls over the top of him. So Zinchenko, I think, has got a lot more confidence that he's not got Otamendi covering his space. He's got Ruben Diaz, so that's probably helping him be more solidified in his game.
He's not bad for a £30 million fullback, I've got to say. Not bad at all. Go back and watch the other night and you know where that's just come from. Phil Foden, finally, 2 games on the bounce. 90 minutes. I thought he was a lot better tonight. I thought we saw Phil in both halves rather than one half tonight. I thought Aaron Wan-Bissaka, you know what? He might struggle on the wing there. I thought he had Aaron Wan-Bissaka on toast all night. I thought he just left him for dead every single. He couldn't get near him.
Well, Martin, it's going back to what Chris and I always talk about, right? Which is play the left foot on the left side, and Wan-Bissaka will be skinned. It's simple. You invert Sterling on the left. Sterling goes into what Wan-Bissaka's strong area. You play left,
excellent point, Carl,
and he destroys him. It's simple.
Sterling had poor performances the 2 previous times he played on the left side against Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So that's why I personally think that Morris was put down the middle to accommodate Sterling being able to play on the left.
Remember the RB Leipzig game in the Champions League? Angelino, left footer against Wan-Bissaka, destroyed him, left him for dead. Same thing. So Foden was good. I thought he was a 7.5 over 10. It was just consistent in both halves, which is good to see.
Tell you what, though, Chris, what a ball. What a peach for that free kick on Stones.
I don't know where you're coming from about having like a better game than last. I thought he played well the last game, mate. He just took a different role in the second half. I think you've been very harsh on him. Thought tonight he was our most potent front out of the front three. I think, yeah, mate. I think you've been a bit ridiculous about Foden. And I thought he had a great game tonight. Really potent. Best out of the front three by quite a country distance for me. And I didn't get to say about Diaz and Martin. So I just want to say, I think we've signed not just a leader, but a born winner. And I love the way he is determined that they'll keep clean sheets. He is like Vinny. He is very similar to Vinny. And we are only a few games in with him, but man, future captain he's got to be.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
What do you think tonight, Foden, Kurt?
I thought he had a fantastic game. You know me, boys. I've been saying for a long time his position in the team is on the left wing, and people need to just get over the midfield thing. Really, he has the errors in his game are reasons why he doesn't play in midfield, and we have better players to play in there at the moment. I think he's very good on the left wing because one thing you'll notice about Foden is anyone checks his record, he scores about as much as he assists. So that generally it indicates that he's more of a forward-minded player than a creative player, generally speaking, that he's going to get into the final third more often. I think he penetrates the lines very well, pushes the ball forward very well, excellent work rate. That's why he's great on the wing, because even if he isn't particularly, even if he's just shuffling someone and making them slow down, it's still effective. And I think he was fantastic tonight. A lot more of a mature performance is what we've been wanting from Phil, and more consistency, and he's been showing that in the last 180 minutes. Really, really happy for the lad.
Some super chats there, Martin. Two or three have come in.
Always come in threes.
I'll bring them up, and then you can read them out, mate, if you're not getting them. This is the first one.
Oh, yeah. Sir Alan, thank you. I do apologise. I'm trying to get in Stones and Rodri class. Rodri didn't play, mate. Ferner, brilliant. Just keep him Plodley. I think he meant Diaz. Concert.
By the way.
First out. No, he did. And Alan does not like Rodri. Alan doesn't like him.
He did come back and say
Diaz.
another chat to say Diaz, and then see Mervyn Thomas has just come in.
Yeah, Manchester is blown, Martin. Great watch along. Thank you very much, guys.
I
didn't play as much as what I thought I was going to do. My P's and Q's got put away quite nicely tonight.
And another one, sorry.
Oh, 8 there. 8, rest in peace, the king. Exactly. Thank you very much, Alan. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much. You might see a little bit more of Alan later on.
Oh, we got a clown on.
We've got a few of them. We've got a few of them at the moment.
United one.
Pardon?
That's all right, he's gone now. We're having no circus tonight.
Yeah, we got me on. We got you on. Anyway.
I'm totally lost now. I'm lost to what's going on.
Basically, we've been invaded from London and Scandinavia.
Oh, right. Okay. United fans on. I just removed a Liverpool fan trying to spam with this channel, but we've got. Yeah, Zaki, Manchester Wars.
That's the clown.
There's no harm. Let them come on, as long as they're not abusive and things. I mean, it's clearly Zaki's not from Manchester, so
at a certain time of the morning, you know, if you catch the sun right, you know what I mean, for about 5 minutes, you know, have a little bit.
Well, then, still never be
99% of the time. No,
still never be in Manchester though. Makes no difference where the sun is in the world.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
Sorry, I'm just reporting sort of porno sites that keep popping up on us.
Oh, we've not had another one, have we?
Oh,
yeah, we're inundated.
Can you send him my phone number?
Yeah, I do keep sending them, but they obviously none of them have rang.
But to bring it back, Carl Buxton makes a good point. One that I was particularly worried about. He says that Zach Steffen deserves a mention for 2 excellent back-to-back performances away from home, and I think he does, because I hadn't seen him play. I had only heard Carl's opinion on him because Carl obviously had seen him play, and I thought he was brilliant. I don't know if that's what you wanted to go on to next, but I thought that comment was top.
I'm trying to keep up with the comments. There's 205 on right now, so we will try to do our very best.
There's a lot.
Please
let's not block unless it's unless it's spamming or it's offensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris, thanks for burying. There you go. Thanks for burying those Manx. They're not Manx. They're not Manx. I'll be honest. Someone did ask you earlier on. There was a question. I can't remember who it was from, but thank you. Would you swap Marcus? Would you have Marcus Rashford? Now I know, Andy, you've said this.
I've said it for 2 years.
You'd have him in tomorrow, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd have Rashford at City under Pep Guardiola. No, but I'd have him at Man City under Pep Guardiola.
Without a doubt, 100%.
He was their only day tonight.
Yeah, it was the only one for them that you thought, oh shit, when he was running on the edge of the area and things like that. You're thinking, oh Jesus, he's going to score. He is going to score. Apart from I think it was a block, wasn't it, by Diaz that looked like that was going in. That looked like, well, whether it was going in, we don't know because Stefan could have saved it. But he was the only one for them that looked like he knew what that derby was about and wanted to win the game for United. The rest of them were pretty abysmal, or we made them look abysmal. But yeah, for me, Rashford, I'd have him every day of the week at City under Pep Guardiola. I really would. The guy's got massive potential. I just don't think it's being utilised in the right way at United.
Oh, we've got another super chat. Chris, I'll come to you next with the Rashford thing, mate. Ross, our friend Ross from Australia. Martin, please put your hands to your ears. Andy, please cover your mouth. And Chris, cover your eyes. I need a screenshot for some merch.
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
There you go. Thank you, Ross. Appreciate that, mate. Strip Bear, one of them porn sites. Hello, winners.
Yeah, well, it could be. Hey, it could be. Subtly coming in there. Maybe that's the wrong terminology.
I mean, I'm going to say, Chris, Rashford, where are you at with it? Would you have him in the City squad?
Oh, he's tainted, isn't he? That's the problem. But he is.
Yeah.
I think he's a really good player, mate. And like I say, I thought he was their only real threat. So I thought Lindelof and Maguire played quite well for United. But, yeah, apart from...
Wow. I'm going to be honest. I'm nearly saying, wow, I've been on to 1 or 2 United other things, and they're going balmy. They're saying they're utter crap.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the hyperbole of Man United fans. They also talk about these terrible 8 years in which they won a League Cup and a European trophy, like they'll never
entitlement.
They'll never be happy over there, mate.
Oh, well, I read that once. There were 6 in the league, and he went, "Oh, the dark days." Don't know what frigging dark days. You think
Blackburn, Sunderland, a lot of clubs, mate. You know what I mean? They haven't got a clue, mate. They haven't got a clue.
Yeah, Rashford, though, mate, he is a really, really good footballer, and a really, really even better human being. So it's hard not to like the lad, isn't it? He's a really decent.
I don't think he'd ever come to City because
I don't think so.
Affiliations. But if we could get him, I think he'd be brilliant under Pep Guardiola at City. I think Pep would have him bombing at centre backs, left, right, centre, and the guy can finish. He can finish. So yeah, but
let's get revenge against Spuds for King Colin.
Going to be interesting final. Pep versus Guardiola.
I will come on to that. Anyone else want to say anything at Kurt? Carl,
just the same as everyone else. Rashford, top bloke. I think he's a great footballer. Like Andy said, don't think he'd ever come to City. Would I have him here? Yeah, I suppose. I don't see any reason why not. A man playing for Man City, you know, even though he's from the other side, you know what I mean? They've stolen enough of ours, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd have him every day of the week and twice on Sunday. He's a really good man. He's good.
Oh, Alan's come on again. Thank you, buddy. Rest in peace, Dino, City fan from the Melbourne branch. Ooh, sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Sad news.
Seems to be a lot of it at the moment.
There's a lot of health issues a lot of people are having. So shouts out to everyone who's knows someone who's family member or whatever. Hopefully it's all gets better.
That, Alan. Send thoughts and prayers from us all, mate. And not good at all. Carl, Marcus Rashford, would you have him in at Manchester City?
Oh, every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Yeah, he's a talent, that kid. I watched him live when United played City in Houston. The kid is good. He's good. Really good kid. I would have him every day of the week. Yeah.
No, I've got to say, Tom's dad. Oh, Tom's dad's here. Good evening, chaps. On behalf of me and Tom, what a fitting tribute to the king. Indeed, it is, buddy. Dupe, think we can win the Premier League. Gotta say, oh no, that's the wrong one. Jumped. The future City team, Lodi. Where's this? I know Lodi's jumping in. Everyone's talk at the moment. Stones can talk Rodra, Benassa, Alwar, Foden, Torres, and Daka.
I told you, mate, next one on the Twitter hype train. That's how I roll.
On the Rashford thing, Kex O'Neill said if they'd won, you wouldn't praise Rashford.
Oh, we would, mate.
You clearly you haven't been watching Man City Fan TV for very long because I've been asking for Rashford for 2 years, mate. So I would. I did video on Rashford talking about him, saying he's a possible that we would take here. So I think there's plenty of us on here that have said Rashford would be ideal at City. So if they beat us and Rashford scored a goal or 2 goals, we'd go, what a goal by Rashford or whatever. We'd talk about that. But anyway.
Got a couple of more super chats to flying in tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciated. Harvey Ellis, coming from a Man U fan, absolutely battered us. We need to sort out the defence. So I mean, a lot of them were saying they wanted Eric Bailly to play tonight.
Yeah, they did want him. Yeah.
Maguire. I think it was more the high press, wasn't it? Because they were higher up.
Was Bailly on the bench tonight? I didn't see that. Was he? Pundit Jay said last night he wanted Bailly and Maguire.
Well, I think the issue was that they couldn't play at 3 at the back because we didn't have a recognised striker. So it would be senseless to play 3 centre backs, and we don't particularly outside of Sterling have a huge amount of pace. So, and Bailly's main strength is his recoveries and his pace in defence. So I think they just stuck in Lindelof and Maguire because they're the preferred choice.
The trouble is, though, because they play high up, it's too slow to do anything with them. They can't. You're just going to get around the back of them all day long.
Oh yeah, but they've got a lot of problems, but their league position's masking a lot of it. So it'll be a fun January and February.
This Harvey Ellis says now we need to prioritise the league and miss the old Man United. We don't. We're loving the new Man United. Keep it going, mate.
Harvey, thank you. Thanks for the super chat, mate.
Yeah, thank you. For everyone, I'm really, this will keep Chris in bed for a very, very long time. Thank you so much. I'm only joking. It's a joke. Ross Evans, not just it's for true.
Thanks, Ross.
Mate, I hope your dad is coming on really well, mate, and I hope there's some improvement. Big style. Rest in peace, Mark Dino. All massive blues. Yes. Thank you, Ross. Appreciate that, mate. But
thank you, mate.
Anything we can do to put a smile on your dad's face and help through this dark time, we will. Whatever. Thank you.
City did a better job than we could ever, though, today, mate. Yeah. So we take those.
Yeah. I totally agree. I'm going to ask a question.
What's your job?
Raheem Sterling. and I'm not trying to go negative or anything. What was everyone's opinion of him tonight? Because there seems to be, during the watch along, there was a lot of mixed stuff coming through for Raz. Some were annoyed, some were saying he'd done all right. Carl, come to you with this, because he's finally on the right.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, the last couple of games, I'm not.
I thought he was, for me, it was okay. He was a 7 over 10. He wasn't extraordinary. He wasn't bad. He was just there and did a job. So, he's not a striker, right? He's a winger. And to me, he looks even better on the right side, even with the ball, than on the left.
He goes down cul-de-sacs, though.
Not as much as the left. He's better on the right, even with the cul-de-sacs on the right. So, I don't know. Just, again, maybe it's Mahrez and Sterling playing together, but I thought it was okay. It was 7 over 10.
Could be. Chris, where do you have Sterling? What do you think of his performance this evening?
I didn't think he had the best of games, Martin, if I'm honest.
And we in.
I prefer him on the right-hand side, no doubt about that, mate. But I thought tonight, again, indecision when he got into dangerous areas, overran the ball. He puts in a great shift, he really does. But, tonight, as an attacking option, I thought he was not at his best, mate.
Have you got it? Have you just seen it?
Oh no, I saw that before. I was just.
I think you got a couple more super chats, Matt.
Jim Whitley posted, just watched the interview with Pep after the EFL Cup, and he was, do you think you have your mojo back? And Pep answered, who? Absolutely brilliant.
Alan again. Clifford Shaw, massive blue from Gorton, top bloke. Alan, stop now, mate. You've given enough tonight.
Yeah.
Normal comments and we'll put them up.
Yeah.
You don't need to do any more. Thank you.
You put just send me a case of beer.
Yeah, he just wants his Moretti, don't he?
Just keep sending me the case.
No, listen, thank you so much for all the super chats. Just Alan's put about $30 in tonight, and I don't want to. But thank you. Shredders, thank you. Appreciate it. Kudos to Martin, and he's lucky. That was not done on purpose. That was so timed well that my cat decided to appear. I picked him up, and Stonesy's putting the ball in the net at the same time. So
I hope that's what you've called him.
What? No, it's called Jet. She's called Jet.
She needs to be called Stonesy. Stonesy from now on.
See, and Andy puts his dog on screen. Now it happens. I put my cat on the screen. Bang 1-0.
Yeah, that's very true.
Andy, where are you with Sterling tonight? What did you think?
Yeah, it was a 6.5, 7 out of 10. I don't think he was great, but and this is the argument, and I'm not having a go at Mahrez. I'm simply saying the positions that they play in.
Sorry,
he offers more danger and tracking back than Mahrez does. When he gets the ball, he drags 2 or 3 players. They're so scared, and not only does he drag them wide, they back off him. When Mahrez gets the ball and picks up, they tend not to, apart from that one that he got on the edge of the area, and he had a great shot tonight, and a good save. But Sterling brings that absolute terrifying pace that defenders are terrified of. They're absolutely terrified of it. I think the commentary, if I remember rightly tonight, said Wan-Bissaka said Sterling's one of the hardest players he's come up against because he terrifies him with his pace. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka had done such a good job that Sterling moved over to the other side, but I didn't think he had a particularly great game. I'd still have him in the team, though. That's the difference. I still have him in that team for what he does off the ball, tracking back, and just when he picks the ball up. Defenders are terrified. They don't know whether if you go to tackle him and he knocks that ball past you, you are dead. That is it. It's game over. He is coming into the box. And then he makes little runs. But I didn't think he was fantastic tonight. I'll be honest with you. But I still have him in the team. That's my thoughts on Sterling.
Yeah.
I've got some thoughts on Ross. Sod off. Anyway, Never mind Ferner this week, Ferner last week, Sterling this week.
Is it Ross thinking that you're targeting Ferner?
There's the man who wants to sell bloody Delap out the door. It's 17 because he's not had a minute of the game, you know.
Oh, well, yeah, there was that.
Kurt, wait, oh, hang on. Alex Portaleda. Razzie's hands down better on the left. He cannot shoot with his left, so pointless on the right.
There's the debate. There's the debate in it. Left, right, left, right, inside. I think we're just best leave it to Pep.
Carl there is telling he's like, I'll have that debate. I'll go down the right versus left.
No. Let's leave it to Pep. As long as we're winning, I don't care. Leave it to Pep.
Yeah. Kurt.
Well, I said in the comments, I think it was a couple nights ago, that Sterling is missing Sergio way more than people realise.
Yeah. I agree with that.
It changed my mind because I think if you just look at pure numbers wise, outside of Aguero over the last 2-3 years, Sterling's been the one putting up the actual penetration of goal threat. So when Sergio's not on the pitch, irregardless if we're playing with Jesus or not, Sterling just gets an extra player on him almost always because it's just a flow chart next in line. If it's not Sergio, then it will be Sterling. If it's not Sterling, then it would be Mahrez. And then behind that, you'd go for the midfielders. And I think he's suffering a lot from that. And I think he's just suffering a lot from because he's put himself so high over the last 18 months, 2 years, that being consistently at that absolute elite level is not something that he's finding easy to do, which I don't think any player in the world finds easy to do. And I don't know if he's being a little bit hard on himself. I think he just needs to be a bit more simple with what he does. Yeah. Like when he got that all through, Martin said in the stream he wanted him to shoot. I wanted him to play a right hand ball across the Foden who was completely open for an easy tapping, because that's how we always score our goals. But yeah, I just want him to play it simple. I think like you, Andy, I think it was a 6 out of 5, 6.5 out of 10. That's about it. But his form will come back. Form's temporary, class is permanent. He's class.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Don't worry, goes to grades. Thank you, though. Very nice of you to say. But so it should be so pleased with John Stones, but bloody hell, Diaz is a born leader. Why didn't anyone on Man City Van TV not pick up on him?
Oh, look at him now. Look. Hey?
Some people are obsessed with
that's a compliment.
I know it was. He was being sarcastic.
He knows really that you wanted Ruben Diaz. Well, he was your 5th choice after Koulibaly.
No, he was not.
He was. Koulibaly. Yeah. We know.
I've gone off Skriniar. Haaland's my boy next.
Yeah, it was Koulibaly and Skriniar, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was Diaz and Skriniar. So
it wasn't.
Skriniar was never a good shout. He's good in a 3, sucks in a 2, and he's not even good enough for their back three at Inter. He's not good, I don't think.
There you go. Fernandinho finish. Come on, mate. He needs another year.
Can we talk about this fella? Can we talk about this fella?
Go.
No. I'm just you're running it. Can
we talk Fernandinho? Does he deserve a new contract? Is Martin talking out of his rear end?
Mate, he's too old. He was useless tonight. Like you say, Martin, absolutely useless. I mean, I'm totally with you, Martin. Get rid of him. No, you're an absolute, you know what. Again, brilliant, mate. I love the way he waited for that moment to stick one on Fernandez, and then that was it. He was out of the game. Clever little, love it.
He might be watching the next time he scores, lifts up his shirt, and it says Martin from Man City Van TV up yours.
And he deserves it.
I would love that.
He definitely deserves another year. Definitely. He's a wonderful, wonderful player.
Not moaning, Alan. I'm asking questions that are in the comments, mate. Guys, it's your shows, not ours. We ask you. Go on, Carl. Fernandinho. Does he deserve a new 1, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year lifetime contract?
So he's 35. You want to give him a 3-year contract. What's a little Argentinian guy who's 33, and you don't want him.
God.
Can we get Ramos and Messi? Martin, it's going to be great next season.
Do you know what I mean? This is where I'm at with this.
It'll be Daddy Ozami. It'll be Daddy Ozami, won't it? Daddy Ozami.
Ramos and Messi.
No, I think Fernandinho deserves at least maybe one more year.
Hang on.
I think for key games, backup, he knows how to play that system. Or put him on the coaching staff. Put him on the coaching staff.
Hang on, I'm just going to text Spencer Pryor, see if he fancies a 2-year deal. And Jim Whitley, I'll see if he's available or no. Anyone else you want Zabaleta? Anyone else? Just let me know. Brian Robson. Brian Kidd, he's still on the coaching team. Let's get him out.
Put
like you said, Martin, everyone's got an expiry date. Andy.
Sorry, something just came through on my phone. Then it was a phone call. My apologies. Sorry, go on. What was that?
Go on, Andy. Does he deserve a 2, 3, whatever year, 1 year contract?
For me, at least a year, possibly 2, but definitely a year, another year. He is an absolutely phenomenal player. I don't think that I've said it for the last number of years. I don't think there is a better central defensive midfielder that's as intelligent as Fernandinho. I just don't.
It's garbage.
That's garbage.
No, that comment that's on the screen right now. Ferner is better than Rodri at 40.
Well, we can't make that comment because we haven't seen.
Well, we don't.
You can't say that.
We don't know that, but
Martin, no, you cannot tell me that Rodri is a better player than Fernandinho.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not. He simply isn't, and I don't care what you say. He simply isn't.
I don't know if you guys are ready, but I got a lot to say about my man Fernandinho. Right. Always got a lot to say about the great man. The first question, I'll just talk about the contract stuff quickly, get that out of the way. I think it's completely up to him in terms of what I don't mean what his choice is. I mean up to him in terms of what he wants to do, because I don't know if his expectations and hopes are to play multiple more years of football and potentially go to a different league after playing at City, or if his expectation is he wants to play at the highest level until he can't play at the highest level anymore and retire. If the second thing is the case, I think we should offer him a 2-year deal and a coaching role at the end of it. If the first one's the case, I think it should be a 12-month deal and let him go wherever he wants for free. Thank you very much. You were the reason Yaya Toure scored 20 goals in his amazing season. You were the reason we scored all those goals in the Centurions. You're probably the greatest player in the last 5 years to play for our club. You look better with hair, but you're still great with bald. I love you, Fernandinho. That's it. I could go on all night otherwise.
Such a wonderful, intelligent, amazing, absolutely amazing. And if we can get, I said to you on the argument over it, I said if we can get 1 game a week out of him, we might not be able to get 2 games a week. We might not be able to. We might save him for the big games. And Jesus Christ, shown tonight. Chris wanted him in last night, was talking about, wants him in the team. And
I wanted him in last night.
All right. Well, okay. All right. Calm down, Precious. He wanted him in the team. You wanted him in the team. He played tonight, and it's just shown tonight. He's just simply. I don't know a better central defensive midfielder in, and I'm going to say world football.
It's because there is
Dino right now. I simply don't. Well, name me. Okay, well, here's my question to everyone on here and to you guys. Name me a player who's in CDM role, like Fernandinho plays at City, that you would have at Manchester City right now over Fernandinho. There you go. That's a simple question. If you come up with one, that's fine. You name.
I've always liked Casemiro. I'm not gonna lie.
You name me that player. So if you say Casemiro's better than Fernandinho right now and would be better in Man City's team than Casemiro.
This is the problem. I was talking for someone to come in, and like you said,
no, right now, if it was tonight pre-match and you had a choice of any of the central defensive midfielders in world football you could choose over Fernandinho to play prior to tonight's match, who would you choose? That's it. Simple question. You might say Casemiro, fine. That's okay. That's your opinion.
Casemiro around everyone.
Anybody, comments, whoever. I don't know. You want
to make about that? If he doesn't
sorry, Kurt. Can I just read the super chat? Alan again. Martin, zip that Gagool up to the top. Nice one. There you go.
I just want to make the point. If he doesn't sign his contract, signs and he says, "No, I'm going on a free in the summer," the real question is, how many clubs would look to sign him? Because that's a way more relevant question than right now. Everyone. There's not a single club in the world that wouldn't want Fernandinho on a free. Everyone. Club. And that answers the question right there.
I'll have him for a year. I'll have him for 2 years. Real Madrid would, in a heartbeat. Barcelona would look at him and go, he can play as a centre-back and a central defensive midfielder. No problem whatsoever. And then you're looking at Bayern Munich, would probably be a perfect fit for him with Lahm and others. For me, it's just, I can't, you said Casemiro, maybe people will have an opinion, but for me, I would have.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to run. We're missing super chats. I need to make sure we get them. So
get them in.
If I'm interrupting anybody, I do apologise.
No, get them in.
Thank you, Buddha, as always. Ross, Martin, as per Saturday, still waiting for an answer, and I'll extend it to world football. Name 5 players in position who are better than Ferner. Guys, I have never said Fernandinho.
Can't name one.
Shit.
Name one. Yeah. Name one.
Well, I think
that was my question.
Hang on. You are being disrespectful to the likes of Fabinho, Kimmich, Casemiro. We're being a bit disrespectful.
No, it's not about being disrespectful. It's about the question was tonight, prior to the game, name me one player you, Martin, or anyone else would have.
I'd probably go with Casemiro.
You would have Casemiro in the Man City over Fernandinho. Okay, that's fine. That was a simple question. I'm not saying you have to go with. I would have Fernandinho, but I'm asking you who are these players who you would have?
Let me explain this. I'm not saying Fernandinho. My thing, like we've been linked with Ramos, we've been linked with Messi. It's going on.
They're different players. Different players.
Well, like Scott said, in fairness to Martin, Ferner was a totally different player to Rodri. He has more years. Rodri fits Pep's. That's what I've always said. Rodri is a perfect Pep system player. That's the way he is. It's the Busquets. Fernandinho is not the Busquets sort of type player.
I've been a Rodri supporter. I support Rodri. I always have.
No, you're not having to go at him.
But what I'm saying is the question is simply, if you can name me one player that you would rather have tonight than Fernandinho in that team, name it. Say who these players are, because I can't think of one. You said Casemiro, that's fine. Personally, I'd have Fernandinho over Casemiro every day of the week, but that's an opinion. But there are not. It just shows you how difficult, because you would easily name me a forward, a striker, a winger, a centre back, or probably name me 3 or 4 players very quickly. So far, you've come up with Casemiro.
Well, Dragon's gone with Kimmich. Goes to grade.
Kimmich isn't a central defensive midfielder.
Yeah, well, he's not.
He isn't.
Neil Hanstock, only Kante will get close.
I agree. I would agree with that.
I think when Martin talks about it, you're generally talking about like the average age of the squad when you're making towards these comments, is what I'm assuming, Martin, right? Like when you're saying about players getting older. Yeah, but in counteraction to that, over the last 2 years, the average age of our squad's actually gone down quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, and I think. Go on, mate.
If you look at our top players, they are getting older though.
Yes, they most certainly are, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with key players in your squad being older players that have been there for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's a bit different when you have older players that you've brought in for 1 year, 2 year, but our older players have been here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, with it being Sergio Aguero, Fernandinho, David Silva before. It'd be different if we were buying like Zlatan Ibrahimovic at 36 and playing like, oh yeah, but we've got experience in our squad. It's not really the argument. The average age of the squad is going down, and
I agree. I agree. And I do agree with Kurt on that. I do understand the point. But, I mean, like you got Fernandinho 35, Walker's 30, Aguero's 32. People are talking Messi at 33. There's now been rumours of bloody Ramos. Thank God they've been poo-pooed. We've got even I didn't know Gundogan was 30.
All right. Well done a minute, Chris and Carl, both of you two, and you have your say. What do you think on it?
Go on, Carl. You've got your hand up.
I can't think of anyone right now who take over Fernandinho in the CDM position. I can't think of anyone. I mean, Kante, no. Casemiro, maybe, but I can't think of anyone else. Busquets, he's too Rodri-like. Who else is there? In the Premier League, who? Fabinho, maybe. But I think for me, Fernandinho, what he brings, his understanding, his intelligence, his positioning, leadership is what we need. In that,
it's a great debate. This is a great debate about it. I think it's.
We have to be
I know what Chris might say.
We can't. We can't.
I think he's going to say DR.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. I've got a comment yet. I've got a comment to come up for Chris in 1 second. Just let Cal finish, and this is a great way to introduce Chris.
Yeah, we can't assume that because the player is 32, they're not good enough. As long as they can play well, play them. Look at Sergio Ramos, right?
Yeah.
Winning titles, Champions Leagues, winning La Ligas. Play them. Bring the young kids in, mix them up, but keep your old players to give the experience. For me. Yeah.
We're sounding like the Harlem Globetrotters here. Bring in Messi, bring in Ramos. No, I'm not. We're not the.
Well, all right, okay. It is the alternative then. Martin would rather have, instead of the likes of Ramos, Messi, Fernandinho, and we're talking about world-class players, he'd rather have Cole Palmer and Bernabé, Jaden Braff. Well, who would you rather have them bringing the elite of football? Who would you rather play that would actually get games at Man City?
Why can't you go and get the likes of Erling Haaland?
Oh yeah, but Haaland, we're not talking about strikers here.
Why? Because you're going to need to replace Aguero next season, whether you like it or not. Yes, you're going to need to.
But that's the striker, and that's fair enough. We know
you don't
that.
need a centre back, so I don't get the Ramos thing. Don't need one. This is the guy I bring in, if you want me to be honest. And I'm with Chris 110% on this. Is this guy, and this leads me straight into Chris. Colin Mack, in the future. Chris, on you go, mate.
Well, as for Fernandinho, mate, I think you're actually not telling the truth, actually, Martin, when you're saying you'd prefer to have Casemiro. I don't think you've been 100% truthful, right? That is my honest opinion. You're just refusing to accept what's staring you straight in the face, which is worrying. But yeah, I like Declan Rice a lot, and I think he's very similar style to Ferner, and I think he could fit in well at City. I don't think that Pep's style with like a Busquets, Rodri sort of style suits the Premier League, in my opinion. Right? You need.
Go on, carry it. Sorry.
I think you need a bit of steel in that central defensive midfield area, and that's why when Ferner plays, we play better.
And Didi from Leicester.
Oh, sorry, go on. Bring it up again.
Where's it gone? And Didi from Leicester, what's all over your midfield apart from KDB?
Ndidi is a very, very good central defensive.
I've got to say, I do like Ndidi.
I think the issue is the crop of next great central defensive midfielders are a few years away from the guys already here. And exactly. It's the same all over the pitch. There's a reason Modric at 35 is playing 3 times a week, 90 minutes. Zlatan Ibrahimovic in Italy. Immobile is over 30. Basically, apart from Mbappe, probably the top 5 or 10 players in the world are over 30.
Yeah.
So it's just a fact of the matter is sports science has moved on a lot, recovery's moved on a lot, nutrition's moved on a lot. Over time, we're going to see players playing longer and longer. And this is probably like the first generation of this modern players that are reaping the benefits of that. But like I said, there's a lot of midfielders in 3 or 4 years that you could have a very good argument are just as good or if not better than Fernandinho. But The here and now, there ain't nobody better.
I mean, yeah, and fair enough. Listen, it's one of those. I'm just thinking long term. That's all. And the part I know what Kurt's saying, but you look at some of the key players; they are bordering on the other side of. And they like KDB. This is going to be his last big contract that he signs, and he wants to make sure. And they don't believe the rumors. I think it's all a lot of crap. I think he'll sign quite easily. But it's going to be his last contract. And it wasn't.
Martin, we assume that the club doesn't know all this. They know this. They're smart.
Of course they do.
They'll figure it out. Let's just enjoy the moment while they're here. Let's not worry about.
I'm listen, because I say something doesn't mean I'm not enjoying the moment. But I also like to plan ahead. I have to do in my job. I can't plan on the here and now. I have to do it in the future.
I'm sure
that's what I'm like with everything.
I'm sure they're smart enough to plan ahead. They're managing a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. I'm sure they're planning ahead, mate.
I don't own a company or I run a company or anything like that, but I only can assume that in planning stages is multiple phases of planning. It's not just we only have a 5-year plan. It's you have a 6-month plan, you have a 12-month plan, you have it's a rolling plan, right? So variables change, especially in a sport like football. You know, the plan changes. For example, if a player comes on the market that you didn't expect to be on the market, you might go in for him. Like a lot of clubs, there's rumors of Memphis Depay being sold for $4.5 million. So a lot of clubs probably weren't going to look at getting in a player in Jan, might go, you know what, Memphis Depay from $4.5 million, the variables will change, therefore our plans have changed. So I don't know how fluid a forward plan is. I think all the players that are aging, we have players that are going to come in or we're looking to replace them.
Yeah, well, if you go off what Calhoun said on that interview, they do look at players under the age of 26 and under. Is generally what they look for, which is why you brought in Torres, you brought in Aka, and you brought up a comment. Pardon?
He also made the exception of saying that if there was a player that was older, that was of the right price, quality, blah blah blah, that they'd look into, they wouldn't discredit it.
Yeah,
I understand. Listen, I'm not disputing that. Ross just put up a load of names there. 3 of them, I don't think have got a long-term future at City anyway. So, you know. We'll see what happens. You know, Ross was selling bloody 17-year-old Delap the other day, but then he's sticking me up 24-year-old Zinchenko. Be quiet, sunshine.
We'll be fine.
Right.
We'll be fine.
Man of the match tonight. Unless anyone wants to talk about any other specific player or anything like that.
Just a big shout out to Gundogan keeping up his amazing form. Brilliant again tonight. Multiple phases of the pitch. I thought fantastic.
Who's that?
Gundogan. Just praising his consistency at the level of performance. Consistency.
Superb.
I think Zach Steffen certainly deserves a bit more of a shout out than we've given him. I thought he had a really decent game. He's not Edison in terms of distribution, but he's still really good with his feet, to be fair.
I thought he was actually decent tonight with his passing.
He was. I'm just saying he's not Edison.
Yeah.
But who is?
Side goal. He settled down. Was superb.
Think of it this way. We did say last week, didn't we, on air? We said 2 big. Well, we had Everton at the time. 3 big games coming up. We had Everton, Chelsea United, and we were like, right, let's see where we are after that. And you all laughed at my quad the other day. We're now in the first final of the season.
Laughed at what?
You laughed at my quadruple.
Did you pull it, mate?
Hold on. Whoa.
I'm going there.
Let's just take a step back a minute. We laughed at your quad. It was only about 3-4 weeks ago. You were saying, with Alan, we're not going to make the top 4, and with this is where we get rid of this, and when he's... And that was the one going, hey, guys, chill out. We'll be fine. We'll be okay. No, you're wrong. Now, all of a sudden, you're saying we're going to win the quad.
You're wrong.
I haven't seen the light.
Andy, I have never once said City will not make the top 4. That was Alan. I said we wouldn't win the league.
Now we're going to win the quad.
Yeah. I'm allowed to change my mind because things at the time, we were not playing well. We were not gelling. We weren't doing great things then.
Martin, remember my comments about the schedule of other teams will drop points?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I kind of go off what I said.
We said other teams would drop points because of this strange season. We said it weeks ago. No, they won't. No, that's it. No, that's it. Season over. City ain't winning the league.
Well, with the points total right now, isn't it on course for like just a low 70s, like a 72 points total to win the league? So you can only assume that teams are going to be slightly more consistent in the second half of the season. But with their circumstances, who knows?
Yeah.
We're
going to win the league.
Yeah. I think he's got it spot on here. I think his Kagula stuff.
Yeah. Hang on. Says the man who's stuck in selling the lap because he's 17 years old. You talk out your rear end. I don't know it's because you're on the other side of the world and watch. But don't be doing that rubbish sometimes. Thank you very much, Cats. Thank you very much. Martin is allowed his views. I am.
We're giving him his views. We're just telling him that.
Nobody else gets their views.
Are completely different to his views, what he said yesterday.
The only problem is no one else wanted to make the argument against it. We all just love Fernandinho.
And I love Fernandinho.
You don't love Fernandinho.
Hang on, this is the problem. I said this to Chris. Because you say, I don't think we should keep him, that basically totals up to you don't like him.
No, that's a reach.
Hey, come on. I love Fernandinho. I just want to see a little bit of long-term vision. That's all. What are you on about now?
Nothing. Go on.
Name me when I've said I don't like Fernandinho. I hate him. Tell me when I've said it. Fernandinho.
I never said you have. Said you hate Fernandinho. Never.
Oh. And I know Chris would like Zabaleta and Francis Lee, Dennis Stewart, and Mike Summerby to roll out onto the pitch tomorrow, but sometimes we've got to move on, guys. We've got to move on.
I'm going to just go on then. Carry on with your questions.
I'm only right. Man of the match. No. Who was your man of the match?
Kick out a player still in fine form. That's the mental side of it, Martin. That's what I can't get my head around. A guy who's still performing at a very high level, you're prepared to get rid of for somebody who can't play as well as him. Just unreal.
Right, we know you hate Rodri. Well, let's move
I don't
on.
hate Rodri.
Oh, yes, you do.
Man of the match for me, John Stones. It was between John Stones and Ruben Diaz. Stones because of the goal. But watching them both is a joy. Really is a joy. Camavinga is a beautiful player. And that's a player. He's young, but he is a really good number 6. You should watch him. He's really good.
I said incorrect. I said if he doesn't play and Pep doesn't trust him, let him go. Can't expect a 17-year-old to play all the time, mate, or even sparingly. Got to work your way in. Chris, man of the match.
Well, it's Stones or Diaz for me. I'm going to go for Diaz because I gave Stones it last time.
I've never said Pep should leave. People need to go back and check things. I've never once said Pep should go.
You did?
No, I didn't.
His argument was that he wanted Pep to commit, right? That was your argument. You didn't want it just be one.
This is what I mean. Things get twisted a hell of a lot. On what
I'll stick up for you, Martin.
Thank you.
I don't know. I think I'll go refer back to a couple of blogs.
You go and refer back
where you weren't happy and said, "Is it time for Pep to leave?"
I have. Right, as the host,
he was asking the question.
To ask a question, and the question.
Well, it wasn't. It was a loaded question. Then you said, maybe it's time."
I don't know what I fall for this winding up stuff.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong, Chris. Maybe I misheard, Chris. What do you reckon?
Listen,
I don't.
I'll give you some behind the scenes stuff in a minute. What this lot do when they all come off, they all sit there laughing their heads off, going, we love watching you get all red and get angry for 5 minutes. This is what they are.
No, we don't. We don't. We don't. No.
But I've got nothing exciting to say on man of the match. Just like Chris and Carl, it was either Stones or Diaz. I was originally going to give it to Stones because he scored the goal, but on reflection, I think Diaz was the man tonight. Not that there was much in it between their performances.
Thank you, Ross. He will defend me. He said he might go, not that he wanted him to go.
No, we're not. We're not talking about your vlog, Ross. We're talking about Friday with me, Alan.
You're man of the match.
It's hard to go away from Diaz, isn't it? I just one block after another, after another, after another. I mean, he was just immense. I thought John Stones was superb. I thought Gundogan was excellent tonight. But sorry, I'm going to have to give it to Raheem Sterling. I thought Sterling was superb tonight. I'm only kidding. Yeah, I mean, how good has he been for us so far? And when you look at him tonight, and it was funny because my wife said to my younger lad who's 21, went, "Oh my God, he's only 2 years older than you. Look at him; he looks like a proper man."
Oh, you never want to hear that, do you?
and then my lad was like, looking at what he does. He look for someone so young, and he was like pulling his shorts up, and he was pointing to players, "Get here, make sure you're marking him. You do this," and said it on a vlog a few weeks ago. People were saying, "Hey, listen, this kid, non-stop talking in the dressing room. He's around everyone. A future captain." And I can see him with the armband next year. Absolutely phenomenal signing. Phenomenal. So it has to be Diaz. But I thought big shout outs to John Stones and Kai Gundogan tonight. I thought Kevin was okay as well. Couple of mistakes in the first half, but I thought overall, yeah, Diaz, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Missed it, Mog. Someone said should be Stones because he scored with his plums. Diaz for the
Stones was very good tonight. I mean, he was very close to Diaz.
A lot of people on here are saying Diaz will be captain next season, and I can't argue with him.
I think he could be.
The only question is whether the dressing room don't want to take it off Kevin De Bruyne after just giving it to him. But I've always been a fan of it. Doesn't really matter who wears the armband. That if you're a leader on the pitch, you're a leader on the pitch. So
yeah. I'm going to say Diaz. I thought he was. I mean, I could have picked 2 or 3 tonight. Diaz is amazing. Matters now. Do you have a quick? Was anyone at all surprised there was no Sergio at all tonight? Or I know come out and said he's going to start.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised. I thought Mahrez would come off and Sergio would come on, but
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, I know Chris is shaking his head. It's not. I'm assuming did think he would. Is anybody worried about the amount of time he's spending on the bench and getting very limited time? And is anybody concerned? Because I must admit, I haven't been.
No, I'm not either, mate.
But I must admit, now I'm starting to think: are we going to see? Are we going to see much of Sergio this season?
Well, Andy, I thought about what you said yesterday about this is the game to play. This was a game to play Sergio, and I thought about it again and said. Maybe not this game because of the intensity of the game. Needs mobility, movement, pace. Maybe on Sunday he may start to kind of build.
I think that's easy to say in hindsight after we beat 2-0 because there were a couple of chances tonight, balls that went into the back post or great crosses into the box tonight.
You thinking of Cancelo's?
Yeah, nobody there. Nobody there. And you're thinking, oh, come on, somebody, bust the gut and get. And you're thinking that would have been a perfect Sergio drifting in on his head, flicks it in the corner, that type of movement. I don't know, but listen, I complain because we played without him and we've just beaten United away 2-0 and through to the final. So got to trust in Pep, but I am getting a little bit concerned with not whether Sergio signs a contract and if he doesn't, he doesn't. And I'm all for whatever the player wants to do. He's been a brilliant servant to City, but I'm wondering just how many games we might see Sergio Aguero this season and whether this is going to be a season that really drifts away like David Silva did, and we don't get to see him of him, and it filters out into nothing.
Let's forget that we also beat them without the striker the last time we played them. So maybe that has something to do with it. That Pep says, "Look, I'm going to play the same way I played the last year."
Yeah, maybe.
But if we don't see him on Sunday, then we know we have a problem. We really have a problem.
I want to see him. I want to see him. I really do.
So, what, you weren't surprised at all that he didn't get on the pitch?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't surprised.
Why? Did you just think what? It was too much. The game was too big. It was too. I
think whatever Sergio's issue is, that injury is not good. I think he's a bad injury, and we weren't desperate to have him on the pitch. And I think as well, you got to take into consideration to come on, and it was a freezing cold night tonight. So do you want to risk it? It's easy to pick up injuries in that sort of coming on for a very few minutes and bombing around, chasing around people. I'm glad he didn't play today, if I'm honest with you. Yeah,
I mean this is part. Mark Armstrong said here. Remember, once the Champions League comes around, it'll be brand new. Well,
I don't think you ever get any brand new again.
I thought that that was my way of thinking, which is a few weeks ago I said about Pep going for the Champions League and Sergio will be back and this, that, and the other. Listen, we have seen Sergio take 10 games to come up to any kind of where he was over the last couple of years. Well, hold on a second. When the Champions League comes around again in 6 weeks' time, is Sergio Aguero going to have 10 games in those 6 weeks, the way it's going? I'm not sure he will. I'm really not sure he will. And it's worrying. I tell you what, that is the biggest thing for me about the contracts. It's worrying me with Sergio. I think Sergio's gone this summer. I really do. And I thought he would definitely sign a contract. I really did. But I've got a feeling the fact that he's hardly getting any game time Cullen might start against Birmingham in an FA Cup. Is that it? And then what happens the next time we play in the next? I know we've got allegedly 4 or 5 easy games coming up. They're never easy, but I don't know. It worries me. It really does worry me with Cullen.
Well, here's one for you, and this is what Ross said earlier. If you've got your Doyles, all this and the other, you think Birmingham's a game to roll them out in, but you're not. You're going to have to roll out Aguero.
Oh, your Bernardo.
Youngsters even further behind. So you're not going to see youngsters for the rest of the season then.
No. Because you're going to have my argument all along is saying you've got
other players. Jesus needs game time because he's not played.
Yeah. I got a couple
Torres.
Sergio.
Pardon?
I just said I've got a couple points about the Sergio because I was very much in this similar camp as Andy in regards to I think he's being saved, but I think like you guys have mentioned, like Chris specifically mentioned that this injury that he's or niggle problem, whatever the issue is a lot worse than we're getting told, and I really think he's going to be a 30 minutes a game here and there kind of guy for us for the rest of the season. That's going to be the end. I think if he can get himself games and if he gets himself a run of games and it starts to look upwards, there may be a chance of an extension of a year. But I think if it carries on like this, I don't even think Sergio will want to carry on like this. I'm sure he'd much rather go back to Argentina. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's not productive for anyone, you know?
So that's what worries me. And with Chris saying about that, I think there is something majorly wrong.
There's no point in keeping him here if it's going to be 30 minutes here and there because player of his quality, he should just be able to go home and enjoy himself. If his career's over and his knees are done because he's been playing since he was 16, then it is what it is.
If he wants to go and City don't want him, obviously if City wants him and he wants to stay, I'm all for
of course, like I said before, but if it's going to be literally an issue of 30 minutes here or there and he's at this point, all he's doing is really blocking pathways, potential signings of a new player based on his contract value per week. You know, there could be issues with that. It's very difficult. We all love Sergio.
Nikhil's asking here, why do we think these are a problem? As me and Chris, was it last week or the week before, whenever it was? He's had this knee operated on a couple of years back and finished the season to get this sorted.
The end of the season. wasn't it? He had
Well,
this.
and then it was also when was it the Centurion season when he had them bone spurts taken out early?
I'm sure I've heard Pep say recently that the latest injury he got wasn't good. It wasn't a good injury.
Which takes a long time to heal.
And he did say, like Shedders, he said he wants to go back to Argentina at some point, and he might think, you know what?
Are we really surprised? I mean, we should be ready for this, right? We should be ready for his eventual departure.
This comes back to my issue with you, Carl, and you said about having the plan. They don't always have the plan made or raring to go, mate.
The plan is if Sergio leaves, Messi comes.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I mean, but what I am surprised now, right now, which I wasn't only a few weeks ago. I'm surprised now that he's don't seem to be getting any type of introductory game time leading up to what's coming up in the future. And it's, let's face it, when you've got a player that's coming back from an injury, we've seen it so many years in, years out, haven't we? When Aguero, I mean, let's face it, the last 3 years, Aguero's been injured nearly every single season and twice in a season. But when he's come back, he's brought in for 20 minutes here, 30 minutes, and then it's 45 minutes, half a game. And then it's, at the moment, we're seeing nothing of this yet. He's always on the bench and we're seeing nothing. And that for me doesn't make much sense. If you've got a player on the bench that needs some game time, because it's all right, people say he'll be back for the Champions League. Well, he won't be starting in the Champions League until he can get at least 5 to 10 games under his belt, because Sergio is notoriously slow.
Yeah, that's what happens this weekend. I mean, let's see what happens.
Oh, I mean, he might play, but I mean that's FA Cup and that's Birmingham. Is he going to be back and then playing in the Premier League? And
like I said, what do you do with Delap? And people like that who need games.
I mean, Delap I'm not asked about because he's a 17-year-old kid who is not warranted being in the first 11. So I'm not asked about Delap. If Delap was 20 or 21, I'd probably go, yeah, he needs more.
That's the question we have to ask.
I'm bothered about Delap. I've got no interest in Delap.
Yeah.
Other than he's a great kid in the academy. He doesn't warrant starting at the moment.
So when do you get these kids in then?
Well, Martin, because Pep decides, not us as fans. Pep decides. He's the one.
I understand that, but we might have an academy then.
But you tell me, Martin, you tell me what you've seen of Rory Delap in training, week in, week out, day in, day out for the last 6 months.
I watched him on a
game. There you go. Right. End of story.
More than bloody training.
End of story then. So Pep sees this player day in, day out. He's briefed by the academy team. He sees him in training. He sees him in training. Yeah. So if he's that great, Martin, why is he not starting for Manchester City ahead of Sergio Aguero and Gabby Jesus? Why?
Answer that.
If he's that brilliant, why?
Well, let's put it on.
17. At 17. At 17.
What did he do on his debut, Ander?
Sorry?
What did he do on his debut?
He's not good enough, Martin.
Come on.
Would Delap play for Bayern Munich or Barcelona or Real Madrid?
Well, Carl, we might as well come the academy off, mate.
Martin, make up your mind, because only you, and you've just make up your mind. Only you were turning around going, the academy is making us money. That's all the academy's for. That's exactly your words. Now you're saying we may as well bin off the academy. Make up your mind which side of the fence you're on. Because one day you're arguing one thing, the next day you're arguing something completely different. You are. You've just done it. You've just done it.
Well,
You've just done it.
Well, how will we know if these players...
The academy is there to make money. Today you're saying we may as well bin off the academy.
No,
Mate, you know what it is.
Can I speak now? Try 3 times.
Well, go on then.
The academy overall is to make the money. I agree.
Right.
But we will never know if there is a diamond or these players are good enough unless we give them a go. And
like Phil Foden.
The early rounds of the cup is where you can have a go and have a look and have a see if they are good enough.
Like Phil Foden.
Did Phil Foden come out straight into the Premier League when he played?
Oh, like the cup. That's what I'm saying. Like Phil.
Exactly.
Right, but Phil Foden started 3.5 years ago in the cup competitions.
At what age?
He's at 17. He's the shining. He was the youngest player the shining gem of Manchester City, is only now, according to you, only 3-4 months ago, should be out on loan because he's not getting any game time. Now is the shining light playing for England.
See, you're talking
about Delap at 17 should be playing for Manchester City. It's absolutely barking mad. Barking mad. Barking mad.
I just don't think the priority of youth players in a season like this is particularly important. Like the youth players, what we've seen, especially with other squads that aren't as in depth as ours. They, like, for example, Southampton the other night, they had a goalie on the bench and 7 youth players against Liverpool. I believe so. They had one regular team player and the rest were all youth players. Youth players are going to get their chances usually via injury. For example, I don't want to go back to it, but bringing up Rashford. Rashford only got his chance at Man United based on an injury crisis they had. Zinchenko only ever got his chance to play for Manchester City for the issues that we had at left back and we had no one available. That generally is why players of younger ages are played out of position and are played more sparingly, is because they only generally get a shot when injuries come about. And because we have such a deep squad, the likelihood of our squad getting injured and depleted to the point where it's a viable option to bring in the youth players doesn't come up as often. So, and this
has been the argument we've said 1,000 times over, is the fact that you can't just say, oh, well, it's the FA Cup against Birmingham, let's see a load of Delap and let's see McAtee and let's see this and let's see Taylor Howard-Bellis and let's see, because there are so many other players needing game time that we might be relying on to play if there are injuries in the closing parts of the season and all the cup competitions and the Champions League. The likes of Anake, the likes of Laporte, the likes of Bernardo Silva, the likes of Riyad Mahrez. He got a bit of a shout tonight, didn't he? Played. But we still got the players like Ferran Torres. So when are all these kids going to come in ahead of the players that we are going to be relying on? It's just not going to happen. It isn't. The academy is there to make money. And are absolutely superb. And let's face it, Delap has been training around the Man City first team squad. So did Jayden Braff very initially, then was binned off. Now, all of these players that have shown great potential, that's brilliant. Brilliant. But unless they've got the attitude to go with it, the mentality to go with it, everything else, there are so many other things other than footballing ability. If the team, not just Pep, if the team are going, not good enough, not on the bench, not playing, not whatever. You've got to trust in what they're seeing day in, day out to what as fans go, we want to see this and we want to see that. Well, we're not the managers of City and we're not the coaches who watch these kids day in, day out. Now, Phil Foden joined that squad and Tommy Doyle and the others, a few of them have stayed with the first team squad because they proved themselves. But some of these other kids, like Delap and that, might have had one good game, but then you don't know what the attitude and what their ability is in training. Remember, a lot of these managers pick on what they see. As Pep says, I pick what I see. And if they're playing well, they get a chance. Now, maybe they're not pulling the finger out. Maybe they're not doing it when they're given their opportunity. So I just don't get it. I think it's absolutely barking mad. I really do. I think it.
I think you misunderstood what I meant. I agree. I do think the academy is for money, but like I said, I think I'm not talking in the league. I'm talking early rounds of the cup. Maybe give 1 or 2, not a whole bloody team of them. 1 or 2. I mean, we went to Southampton a couple of years back, didn't we? When we sat in the nice seats and Tommy Doyle played and Bernardo played, and that's how you do see if 1 or 2 of them are good or not. That's all I mean.
We had to use those League Cup games as preseason games to get our first team players who didn't have a preseason fit. I think it's just this season in particular, the likelihood you're only going to see youth players if injuries come around. Every other team in the Prem, apart from a few cases like James Justin, who was already in the first team squad last season with Leicester, Kyle Lamptey, is it Kyle Lamptey? Lamptey at Brighton, who was already with Brighton at the back end of last season. So, like I say, no club are going to be playing kids in this particular time frame unless they absolutely have to. Like, look at Liverpool the other night. They'd rather stick 2 central midfielders at centre back than playing that kid that they have.
Yeah,
who even played quite well in the 2 games that I saw him play. It's just this season's so difficult to get youngsters in outside of needs must. So, but like I say, for next season, there's a very valid argument. We should, because how many, like, didn't we draw with Wolves in the League Cup like 3 years ago when we had pretty much all the kids out and we won on pens? Pretty much, I always remember the early rounds of the League Cup playing kids. Like you just said, Martin, like I said, this season's just a complete anomaly, completely different. We just can't be worrying about kids at a year like this. It's just not the time.
Sorry, Kurt. Carl, did you want to say something? You've got to go, haven't you, buddy?
Oh yeah, it's dinner time here. I have to go soon, but I'm just happy that we won. Just happy that we won.
We are happy. Please don't. Apparently,
we are not happy at all. We're not happy.
I'm miserable. It should have been 10-0, right, guys? We're
I
rubbish.
only asked about man of the match, and we ended up going into a big bully debate.
It's a good debate, though, I'll say. But yeah,
it's a debate that is. I think it is definitely worthy of discussion because everyone's got their own opinions. Martin clearly wants youth players in the team, and like I've always said, of course I'd love to see youth players in the team. Of course I would. But I mean, we've got to be realistic. We don't know what they're doing in training. We don't know how good they are in training. And at the end of the day, we've got so many other players who are superb in the first team squad as it stands at the moment, not getting game time. And not because they're not good players, just the starting 11 is picking itself apart from one or two players.
The other thing we forget is these players, first players, have played in the system. They understand each other, positioning, movement, passing. Over time, you bring a new kid in a big game like United, and they make a mistake, we could lose.
Yeah, there's always that. Imagine if they put all the kids in tonight and they got beat and went out semi-final against United and put 4 or 5 kids in. What does that do to the confidence when everyone's going fucking great? Not going to Wembley.
That shite, Andy.
Yeah. What's that?
They wouldn't have lost to that shite.
Yeah, maybe not tonight.
Oh, I love it.
It does beg the question, though. Why did we play like we did in the league against them like that when we are obviously miles ahead of them?
Great question.
Yeah.
Before you go, Carl, just coming through news, a woman shot during pro-Trump riot at US Congress has died.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's
mental.
With this guy, Trump, I said 4 years ago, everything he touches dies. This is what he does.
Mental. Well, stay safe, mate. Stay away.
Definitely,
Stay safe.
Right. Take care, guys.
At the end of the day, guys, we are at Wembley Stadium. We are going to the Etihad of the South. Well, we're not. The team out. I'm talking as a club. We're not. Well, people are saying it's April. Trust me, guys, you will not be going to Wembley Stadium in April. We won't be coming out of lockdown till probably middle of March, and you're jumping on we're off to football in April. Very doubtful. I'll be honest, I'm not trying to be a doom and gloomer here. I'd probably write the season off for fans going into the stadium at the minute, guys. If I'm totally wrong. But, Chris, what are you, right now, before we go, your initial thoughts, are we favourites for the Cup? Tottenham is going to be hard, but come on, the way we're playing.
Played Tottenham apparently 3 times in the League Cup, Martin, and lost all 3. So, yeah, a lot of averages will hammer them.
Kurt?
I hate playing Spurs. I absolutely hate playing that team. I will say one thing, though. I'm glad it's Spurs in the final because I rate Mourinho a lot because him and Pep are 2 of the only managers that give this competition the credit and respect it deserves. When you've got managers like Arsene Wenger and Klopp treating it with so much disrespect, they deserve a fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is absolute disgrace. Arsene Wenger started it all those many moons ago, playing all the kids. Mourinho, they're a team that won a trophy. We're a team that won a trophy. You know, it'll be a good final. Both teams will be up for it. I'm excited, but nervous. But it's a long old way off, isn't it? A long old way off. I did
read something tonight before we came live. There will be a record equalled or broken in April where apparently Mourinho wins. He will become the outright top manager for League Cup wins.
We win it most in the row.
Yeah, Pep wins. It'll be most in a row and it'll be equal with Mourinho.
Is that true? Huh?
Yes, yeah. It's actually a lot bigger game than people realize. I know a lot of fans, especially of other clubs, disrespect the League Cup, and it makes me sick. You know, like I said to you many times before, 95% of football clubs, professional all around the world, don't win nothing every year. They don't win nothing. So winning a trophy is just an amazing thing to do, and anyone who disrespects it's just.
I think as well, you know, it's traditional for Tottenham's wheels to come off around February, March time. So it's probably lucky for them playing it in April. So, you know, they bottle it anyway, don't they?
Yeah.
Who's debating between Andy and Martin subscription? Like, who's debating? What? Someone have any debate? Don't debate. Hit the like button and subscribe, guys. I said we want to try and hit 17k before the end of the season. And you looking forward to the final?
I mean, I love this trophy. I've said it for years. It's been the last 3 years plus, well, not this year, obviously, but trips to Wembley in February. It's obviously not February this year, but it's just been a highlight with mates and everything else. It's just been great every February, meeting everybody down at the hotel, the Novotel, a few beers and chatting to fans outside Olympic Way and chatting to Liverpool fans, meeting Aston Villa and Liverpool fans, loony Liverpool fans and whatever else. And yeah, it's been great, and I'm just gutted. I'm absolutely gutted that we're not. I don't think we'll be there in April. But I wasn't saying before about favourites. I think we will be installed as the favourites with the bookies. But I think it'll be a tough game. Pep versus Mourinho. Like, I think,
in a minute, damn way. Sorry, mate.
I think Chris said there about the last 3 meetings in the cup competitions. But I do think, and somebody else mentioned something earlier, saying, "No, we'll look at the result in the Premier." I think we were at a different period when we played Spurs. I think we're in a completely different place at the moment, and I think momentum. You know, and we know how strong we are in the second half of the season, and that's why I've always been confident that we'll win the Premier League and we'll possibly go in for the Champions League this year as well.
So
and
you're
if we win, I know I'll go for all 4 cup competitions. Me, I say it.
Hang on, no, you're not. You're what? You're off your rocker. What are you talking
every
about?
year. No, because I never turned around and wanted Pep out a few weeks ago.
I've never wanted Pep out.
So anyway, yeah, I think, I think it's going to be a tough game. Sadly, the only
this year.
it is not, and that's gutted because we won't see you. And
Andy versus Martin, who wins?
What's gutting for me is that it's not in February and it's moved to April. Because
I'm really disappointed about that.
Yeah,
it's not the momentum. It's what managers do. Winning a trophy, it's the only trophy you can win in the middle of the season. People always discredit the card. Can I just ask you guys a question? But when I talked about the League Cup point earlier, do you think people disrespect the League Cup more simply because its naming rights is sold every other year?
I mean, I love the Carabao Cup. I've always said it. I just
call it the League Cup. What I'm saying is because it's been known as the Carling Cup, the this cup, the that cup. Opinion of the trophy.
I mean, Chris, we were talking about it, weren't we, on a Friday night social a few months ago? And we're talking about the FA Cup brings back the memories of when it was on the TV and the build up, and it does have all that. But I actually prefer now the League Cup following City. I've always preferred the League Cup lately than the FA Cup. But I just like the trophy, and because it's in February, it's like one of those get it in the bag early. And I agree with you. It does. Pep said it. It brings momentum. It's like one's in the bag. Here we go. That's what it feels like. Now we need to be going for the Premier League or the Champions League or the FA Cup. The FA Cup is still prestigious, but I'm gutted it's not in February. It's going to be in April because everything will just come thick and fast, and probably the final will get lost in where
horrible. No matter where we're at.
Wherever City are in the Champions League.
And we will try this. If we get to the semi-final of the Champions League, it's going to be in between a two-legged final.
Yeah, by all accounts.
That is going to be. That's not great.
Did you say a two-legged final?
Two-legged semi-final.
Oh, semi-final. I was going to say.
Yeah.
Two-legged final?
It's going to be literally the semi-final. It's going to be sandwiched in between. Whoever comes up with the crap, I don't know.
It's all about
We've
had to win the last game of the season and a few days later play FA Cup finals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is.
You worry about that. You want to be in those positions as football fans. So, you know what I mean?
On your point, Kurt, the FA Cup is the greatest cup competition in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, domestic cup competition in the history of football, yes, without a doubt.
But the League Cup, a lot of people call it the Mickey Mouse Cup, is fairly recent, I would say. And it's little small-minded people who want to besmirch other clubs who've won it. You know, same as the UEFA Cup. You know, it's not the elite cup to win, but it doesn't mean it's not worth winning. And the fans who say, it's Mickey Mouse, we're not bothered about it anyway.
Yeah. I'm not particularly bothered. I was just about the naming rights being sold affects people's.
But I blame people like Arsene Wenger.
I agree.
You know, who just played his kids. You know,
off for years, mate.
Yeah.
They were excited to win against Birmingham when they lost 2-1, though. Oh, what a shame.
Do you know what I think on that, Chris? When trophies, I think, got really disrespected, and I'm sorry, I've always had a bit of a bee in my bonnet about it. With what United did a long time ago in the FA Cup when they pissed off to Brazil. I get they're going to say they were contractually obligated to, and it was money, but nah, sorry.
It's a joke, mate.
You don't diss it off. They were the holders at the time, and they refused to try and defend their own trophy to go off to play in some part-time.
Which is one of the things.
League.
This is one of the things why I thought, and this is what disappoints me now that it's been moved to April, the fact of, I said, I think Pep's going for the Champions League this year. That's going to be his priority. And if we are in with a shout for the Premier League come March time or April, he'll go for both. He won't dismiss one or the other. He'll go, well, the two massive trophies. I can't just forego one for the sake of a one-off semi or final or whatever. But now what we've got is we've now got April with a Carabao Cup final, and we could be semi-finals or whatever of the FA Cup, and then it all starts merging into one that April-May time, and it just becomes a mess. And that's why I like the that's why I like the Carabao Cup in final in February. It's done, dusted, it's out the way. Somebody has won it, whether it's us the last 3 years or someone's won it. You've only got 3 competitions to focus on then. Rather, we are going to be focusing on 4, hopefully, by April time.
Well, to be fair, guys, we've got 3 weeks to maybe do something to maybe prevent that a little bit. Not that it'll happen. But like I said, the final's going to be somewhat because Tottenham have a chance to win a trophy in God knows how long. And the one thing I'll always say about Mourinho, he might play crap boring football, but he wins trophies.
Yeah, he does.
Tottenham he does. City love this. That is going to be one hell of a final. I'm just gutted we won't be there to see it. And as I texted the lads early today, you know why I think we'll win 3 or 4 trophies this year? Because it's sod's law that we won't be there to see them lift them.
Yeah.
This will be the year we do something special. We win the Champions League.
For years now, mate.
What?
We've seen them lift trophies for years.
I mean, this
is
the year we do something special, or we'll win the Champions League, and we just can't see it.
Such a doom merchant. It's unreal.
Not doom and gloom.
We've seen them get points and pick up the leagues back to back in FA Cups and 3 Carabao Cups in a row. And it's not fair. I can't see them lift a trophy. Get a grip, mate.
I know. It's because I go up and down the country watching them, though. So, you know what I mean. Anyway, great live stream, guys.
One last thing on tonight's game. The Colin Bell tribute was lovely. But I can't tell you, when they showed Mike Summerby in the stands and him wiping away the tears, mate. Oh Jesus, that proper got me. Proper got me.
It did.
I heard him on Talk Sport this morning, first thing, and he was talking about it. And then as they were sort of, thanks, Mike, for coming on, you could hear in his voice he was almost like struggling to. Must be a terrible time for those people, very close people. I saw Ian Cheeseman did a video on the Blue, and that was a nice trip. So yes,
what you know got me a little bit as well, and in that little hug they all did at the end today when they won. I've not seen
they were
a long time. That if ever, I've never. They just Stones and Diaz. They just that little hug, and then they all joined in, and it was like
proper unity.
Something special.
Maybe 2 meter distance.
Pardon?
2 meter distance.
I know it makes me laugh. They can all shake hands and hug at the end, but they've all got to come out of a separate tunnel. What the hell? Anyway, guys, that wraps up our 2 hour. Was never meant to be 2 hours, but 2 hour Tuesday night, Wednesday night social. Big thank you to Kurt for coming on, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Up everyone in the chat. Great win. Super buzzing.
My old mucker, the ginger princess herself. Thank you for coming on, mate.
Fine. Great night. Always enjoy these nights more than any other.
And despite what they say in the comment, there is no Andy versus Martin. So please.
There's no contest, Martin.
Oh, Martin gets as good as he gets. It's about opinions. It's whatever.
Listen, if we all agreed, there'd be no point. We've always said on this channel, we try and make it like proper fans down in a pub, having a chat. We're not here to please sponsors or have a chat with people. We're not here. We're here just to talk as fans. Yeah.
If it was just down the pub like fans,
he'd get scared over his bloody head by now. But never mind.
I'm not sure we'd be able to show you the language, but it is what it is. It's all a bit of banter, and it's a bit of debate, and there's nothing wrong with that. You might think I'm wrong, I might think you're wrong, people on here might think I'm right. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference. If you can't give your opinion openly, then no point being on here, is it? Pointless. What's the point? Go and hide in your basement behind your laptop or on your phone.
I also forgot to mention VAR.
I did say one comment in the comments the other night on the preview that a key thing to dealing with Man United is reducing the touches that they have in our box, and I thought we were fantastic at that because even their chances came from outside the box. We limited the only time they had that dive that they should have got a yellow card for.
Yeah, cheating.
We need a live stream from a pod. Listen, guys,
we will definitely do that. We will definitely do
this, Chris and Andy and me. We can't wait till we're back at the stadium because we are gonna have a good chat. We'll meet you all properly. We've met some really good characters on here.
And don't forget also, we had the studio and everything booked, didn't we? With fans and things to come.
Laid back for a while.
And that's all been delayed now. But
it will happen. Things will happen.
It will happen. Yeah.
Things will happen. We'll all get to the stadium. We'll get to meet you guys because you lot are all thanking us for helping you guys through it. Trust me, we thank you for helping us get through it as well. Because this is a two-way street. You help us, and you see us all laughing and giving. This is how it should be. You know, we're fans. We all support each other, and we're Blues. And unfortunately, apparently, Tom's dad's just broke some news that the next time we go to Wembley, Tom will be driving. All
the way from Yorkshire. Is he coming on his tractor?
Make sure he's
the M25 on his tractor.
So we got one more.
Do I go up the gap or do I go down the M6 and the M? What am I doing here?
Yeah, bless him.
One more thumbs up for 100. So come on, if you haven't done a thumbs up, what's wrong with you?
Question
What's
online,
going on here?
thank you, but
What's going on?
someone said we should be paid.
Yeah, we should.
Should we? Your after game chats.
I should be paid.
Bloody hell. Manchester is blue. It is. Guys, are we on 100 likes yet? We there? Guys, thank you so much.
Got it.
Thank you all. I'm just going to say the last week or two, you guys have gone.
Well done.
Absolutely.
I got you, boys.
Thank you for the support and the love to you all. Alan again, thank you.
Mancini.
Tell you, Chris is getting salivating with all this beer money that's rolling in.
Wait, mate.
He just sees one of these coming and goes, that's another Moretti.
It's another beer.
That's another Moretti.
So we're working towards.
I will be back now. Tomorrow's Thursday. We'll be back Friday for the Round the Night Social. Probably won't do anything tomorrow because we've got something planned we need to do privately as well. For the future, that will let you all know. He's looking at it.
Is that you and Chris? You and Chris?
You'll see. Time to Shalom UTV. I am from Indonesia.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Me neither, mate. I'm sure
You do, Andy.
He actually doesn't know what we're talking about. We have a meeting tomorrow night that he's totally
I actually don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow night?
about? Huh?
Do we not have a meeting tomorrow night?
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was officially confirmed. 9:30 plus one, Chris.
Chris.
I don't know. I'm lost with what days what at the moment. I don't know if it's a Monday or a Saturday or I've no idea.
I thought it was Martin with a short memory.
No, it's me. It's me. I'm like that. What's tomorrow? What, on Thursday? Oh yeah. Yeah, tomorrow night. We've got a meeting tomorrow night. Yeah. But maybe if something happens tomorrow, I might do a quick 5-minute. I'm going to come back. I'm going to start doing a few more of the news in brief as the transfer, because obviously it's transfer window time in January, isn't it? So we're going to start doing a few more news in brief, and we'll bang them out. 5-minute clips, all about sharp, snappy, what's going on, and we'll get those out on the channel. But because they might not be a live vlog every single night, but there you go.
Guys, thank you for joining us. It was amazing. What?
Have I got words? Have I got words?
Very fidget.
Sorry, I'm fidgeting around. I've got my phone going off here and I've got all sorts going
on.
Guys,
thank you for joining us. Manchester is blue, as we proved today. And we're through to the... oh, sorry, we forgot to do something. We told you Sir Alan was over in Melbourne. He was over earlier on. And he sent us a little video of Alan celebrating the goal.
I look forward to this.
You want me to play it or you play it?
Oh, you play me.
Yeah. This is Alan celebrating Manchester Derby.
That's in the Imperial in Melbourne, the Man City, the Melbourne Blues.
He's put some weight on.
I don't know whether he's been pumping a bit as well, hasn't he? He looks like put a bit of timber on, hasn't he?
Well, I've heard it. I want to say that. Guys, anyway, what I'm going to do is we won 2-0 semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Manchester is blue. And also, we are going to end with the same way we ended last night, because I think it's right we do that. Tonight was for the King, Colin the King, the fans. Manchester is blue. Colin Bell is blue. And yeah, City are through to another final. And I can tell you what, Colin would be very proud. See you all on Friday.